I don't know what happened. It was going too well. It knocked me out of the stream. It knocked Paul out of the stream. We just wanted to test you to see whether you thought we was going to do a runner, but we're here. And I hear you now.
Yeah, I'm all good, mate. I'm all good.
Oh, I had everything right, and it just went wrong. But there you go.
I bet what you said was amazing as well.
I know. I thought I'd give it a proper lively introduction and got it going. And there we go. We're here. Match reaction.
Yes.
Everton 1. Brentford 0. 12 games unbeaten. We've done it. We've ended it. I will drop your comments. A couple of comments here. Sam. People, if you're on and you're new, speak to the people in the comments and I'll drop your comments on the screen. We'll get you involved. It's me and Paul, you in the comments. We're all together and we'll have a good little chat. I've got some cracking stuff for you. I put a bit of time into it to get you some good stuff to look at. I've got you. I'm a bit excited here because I still got it. I still got the excitement. I'm buzzing that we won. I was scared thinking, will I be as buzzing as I was yesterday, today, doing it a day after? But doing this has just got me back in there. We've just won. So I've got stuff. We'll go through the game. We'll go from the very start to the end. We'll break it down. I'll put some good stuff up. If you like Everton, you'll like the stuff that I put up because it's proper Everton in depth and we'll look at things and me and Paul will talk about it. You talk about it in the comments. I'll drop it on. And I've just seen more people saying that I'm happy. We will go through it in patches. I'm going to literally cover everything. So everything that you want to say, you will get to say it on the topic and I'll have it on the screen and you'll get to give your opinion on it. I'll make sure I cover it all. That's what I'm looking to do, something that I don't see on other channels. So, Paul, just give me your feeling. How'd you feel? We did it.
I feel, I don't know really. I was that confident that we'd actually get something from it. So just like, yes, brilliant that we got something from it, but I want the next one.
I know.
I want us to get up there. I feel as though we just want that 2 wins in a row, and so I'm still buzzing for the next one. To be fair.
I know. I've just come on this now, and I feel back to pumped. It took me ages to get to sleep last night. Proper Everton passionate fan, me. You know what I'm like. But we'll start now then. For you people in the comments as well, like I say, I'll put stuff on the screen. Comment what you think on what I put on the screen. We've told you how we feel about the result, but we're going to go through the game now because it's match reaction. And I'll drop stuff on the screen. Should have it all in order. You put in your comments what you think. So I always read it back if I don't manage to get it on the screen. And me and Paul will give our verdicts on what we think. So we've kicked off the game, Paul. And obviously, if we start talking about the game, we've got to get straight onto this because here we go. I'll drop it now.
35 seconds.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't not talk about it very quick, can you? Now, I've put it as a clip here. I've done it as you see, top left, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 stages of the goal.
Yeah.
And obviously, we're going in the order from 1 to 3 to give the stages. So on the top left, you've got the long ball, which we was going to do was going to go direct, and then you've got Gray, which I thought did really well here. He's backed into me and put pressure on him, so he's under pressure. And then you've moved on to clip 2 here, and we've got Iwobi onto the me header, and Iwobi's onto it straight away. I like that because we're getting close to Gray, and I said our players have got to get close to each other. And then on stage 2 there, on number 2, you've got Iwobi that's onto it straight away. And I think Me's header's not that good because Gray's put the pressure on him. If you watch it, if you look in that clip there, I know it's small because I broke it down into 4. But if you look, Gray is into Me there. So Me's header isn't what he wants it to be. And then Me obviously heads it to keep it into play to one of his players. And Iwobi's right onto it. And I said Iwobi's got to get close to Gray, and he does. So then you can see on the number 2, Iwobi's onto it. And then we move on to number 3 here. Iwobi's knocked it across to Decore. And then Decore's in this space here onto the clip 3. And then look at McNeil there, though, Paul.
He's got a long way to make up. But look at the amount of people we got forward. That seems to be one thing that Dyche has got into them, is that we might be playing sort of direct from, say, Coleman. It normally goes out to Coleman. It's Coleman who'll sort of curl it down the line or loft it into whoever's up front. So Gray did well leaning into me to force the mistake, if you like. But then he's obviously told people, we can get it forward, but you've got to get up there as soon as it lands. You know, you've got to get up there for people to be able to win the drop downs, and that's what they did. So if you look at the first one where Gray has pressured me, I think we've got maybe Decore's in there. He's the only one within 20, 30 yards of Gray. But then straight away into the second one, bang, 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 about 5 people up there. By the time you get into the area, we've got 5 or 6 people just on the edge of the area as well. So, you know.
I did think this when I made this, and this is why I thought on the fourth clip, it's amazing to see when you look at the picture of number 4, because obviously the thing is, it's all about, when you're down that right-hand side, it's all about, and I've seen it in the comments, of Iwobi does amazing. There you go, drop the comment there. It's all about, if Iwobi sees the pass and makes the good pass, which we don't normally do, they're all over the left. We cut it across there. They're all over their left. We cut it across, and he puts it to Decore, and they've all pulled across, and then across the other side, you've got all that space there, as you can see in the picture. Decore's in space, and they're all over the other side. And then McNeil knows straight away, if he makes that overlap, he's in. And
number 2 in there, because I've got it on the screen in front of me up here as well. Iwobi plays that ball first time into Decore. Now, I think there would have been plenty of times that Iwobi would have had a touch. We would have kept possession, gone back around the defence and everything else. But it was first time pass. As soon as he latched onto it, first time pass into Decore's feet. And then suddenly you've got Decore, Gray and Iwobi. And then you've got Onana and McNeil behind those 2. So it's that quick passing. And you get that with confidence, don't you?
Well, if you look, it's still not an easy finish. When I looked at it, as the movement's made, McNeil's just got that line where if he hits it nice, he's only got where he hits it to score, I think. Yeah. Literally, where he puts it, that's all he's got to score. But it is so accurate, and what a strike it is by McNeil.
It's good, yeah. It is good. He doesn't run onto it and hit it first time. He does the little shift to the left, just half a yard, and then his shot actually is lifted off the ground as well. There's no, I think if it had been a bit of a daisy cutter, I think the keeper would have got down to it. But because it's lifted, he's got no chance. It's brilliant.
No, it's a cracking finish.
It's a great goal because it's straight off the training ground, isn't it? Straight off the training ground.
I just love that he's taking that shot there and he's got 2 players right next to him running onto it, and on the wing as well, Iwobi running as well. So it's different. It's different to what we've seen, and I'm just buzzing with that goal. And it's 35 seconds. I think did it say it's a record?
Oh, I doubt it.
Not a record in general, but a record for Everton, I think, at home. I'm not sure. But
I'm certain I'd be surprised if we've scored earlier than this in the last couple of years, to be honest with you.
How was you feeling after that goal, Paul? And people in the comments. I mean, we said last time the goal was early. We're good at these early goals.
Well, by the time I got on the stream, we were 1-0 up, and I was like, "What the hell happened?" So it was only retrospectively that I saw it, but I was so pleased.
Well, if you wasn't on it, straight away, you missed it.
We said getting the first goal was absolutely massive, and we couldn't have improved more, right? Really, could we? Because our actual game plan changed immediately, I think.
Well, obviously, we've come out there, and straight away, just from that, we've pressured, and obviously, if you come out the blocks like that, you've come out the blocks to win. And I thought they come out really good to do that. And it was just good to see. It shows that they're coming out good, and the fans can get behind them. It gives the fans to get, especially when you score. I mean, that's going to get the fans off the seat straight away, isn't it, Paul?
Yeah, definitely. And it was good actually where they went at the park end. We know on Twitter and stuff that were in the picture from McNeil going forward and that, and some people who work for the club who were there obviously working and stuff. So it was good. You could just see on everyone's face just the sheer joy of us getting it in first time.
Well, then, yeah, I completely agree. I'm just still buzzing thinking about that goal. What a goal. I've been thinking McNeil all day. Then it wasn't just luck that we did come out good, because I've gone through all the game and I broke it down for you, and we'll go in stages of what happened. But it's like I say, he scored that in 35 seconds, Paul. And then he's in 16 minutes. Don't know if you remember, Keane's had this header. And he's just overhit it. He's got too much on this header, Keane has. And it was a good chance.
I missed this one due to my bad connection myself, to be fair.
Well, you won't miss nothing with me because I've got everything up for you today. So look at that position.
Tell me about what happened with Keane's header then.
Well, it's a cross in. And that's the position Keane's got to head it. The keeper's off his line. He's got an open goal. He needs to kind of glance it into the goal. Do you know where you just get a bit on it and it glances? But he's kind of headed that full on. And it's kind of gone completely away, back too much, and gone back across goal, not towards goal. And that's 16 minutes in, that is. So that's a cracking chance, isn't it, that he's had?
Yeah. And I mean, our goal as well wasn't off a set piece. You know, we keep harping on about how important our set pieces are, and chances are that that's where we'll get the goals from. But it actually wasn't at all. It started from Coleman, didn't it? So
there you go. The Blues. I was thinking who crossed it in for this, and the Blues has just said this is why it's good with the people in the comments, because they know the stuff as well. He's just said it was a lovely cross from Gray. So it's a corner. So we're getting the corners that we want and set pieces, and he could have scored that. So that could have been 2-0. And 16 minutes it could have been 2-0. And so we have started really, really well.
And someone said on the comments here that he thought about, we've scored too early. We almost think any time we go 1-0 up, we've done it too early, unless it's literally the last kick of the game. So I'm with him on that one, without a doubt.
Well, that's 16 minutes, and I've just dropped this one on the screen now. This is another chance. I don't know if you've seen this. This was Onana.
Yeah, I've got this one. Just got this one up here. But again, I mean, it comes from our high pressing, because before we even get possession of the ball, you've got Gray, Decore, Iwobi literally just pressing their back line. So it's come from them having possession on our right hand side, and then they've tried playing it. But again, Coleman, who's rejuvenated, do you know what I mean? He obviously gets on with Dyche, because he just seems to be happy with a lot of the games that he's playing in, particularly through at home, because they've just passed it short, and he's come right through and got to the ball before the Brentford player by about 5 yards. And again, first time pass. It's that first time pass actually into Decore again from the right hand side, and then it's Decore turns and gives it back on that right hand side to Iwobi, and that's where the cross comes in. And again, a bit maybe like Keane stretching with a header, and Arna's stretching with his right foot. He'd almost run past it when it came out to him.
He's leaning back a lot there, isn't he? I mean, I've just seen the comment there. The Blues says sit to that from Onana. It was high up, but he still got right under it. And you've got to get over it, haven't you? If it's high. I
think he'd already almost gone past the ball. It's just one of those that you can see bobbling out, but your momentum takes you away from it, and he got a foot on it, but he just couldn't control it.
But what we just had that chance then, 16 minutes in. King's had a header that he should have scored, like a comment here, 50p header. That's what it was. 20p header it could have been. I like that saying, proper football saying that. Yeah, he's had that header. We should have scored the header. 16. Now it's 20 minutes. And we've had this chance as well. This could be 3-0 now with what I've just put up. And this is a really good chance by Onana. A lot of people wasn't happy that he missed this, because you expect footballers to score this. But I'm also, like you've just said, and you said it good, I was going to say the same thing. And I put it in writing here. Coleman is onto the ball before that, straight away onto it, turns it over down that right. It's a good ball in by Iwobi. We moaned about his crossing. Iwobi, good ball in. Keeper palms it. And we're in this situation. Onana gets it. And it's a massive chance again by us, pressuring them and looking hungry to do well. And I'm really happy here. I mean, it could be 3-0 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
It's a good start, isn't it?
It is. And it shows a bit of trust in the defence as well, because what we would often do is that we wouldn't press high. The midfield wouldn't go anywhere away from our defence. But when we're actually pushing up high against Brentford, when they've got possession there, Decore, Onana, maybe Garner's sitting back a little bit, but there's so many players of ours that are high up in our attacking third. We're almost like the defence can take care of themselves, whereas they didn't used to trust each other. And so our midfield would be almost on the toes of our defenders, which really was to our detriment, because teams would take advantage of that and get a lot closer and a lot further up the pitch. And we were always just making mistakes on the edge of our own area. But what happened against Brentford was that we weren't doing that. We were pressing high and we were forcing them into mistakes in their own half.
Well, normally we get a goal and we sit back. And Paul's just said here, and I completely agree with him, we've gone 1-0 up. And this is another chance now I've just dropped on the screen. So I've just gave you 3 good chances. It could have been 3-0. This is 4. Chance number 4. And he's just dropped the comment now saying it was nice to see us go for another goal and not sit back. And this is chance number 4. And what do you think of this one, Paul?
Well, I think... Is this
Iwobi? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was a chance for Brentford around that time as well, I think, where Tony had a header.
I've got it. There's the next clip, I think. Yeah.
After, is it?
Yeah.
So it's just one of those again, though. We've got people in the box, and it's a sheer scramble, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
it's
it just
service.
Sometimes it just needs. Yeah, it was a well. I mean, it was a good save, to be fair. But again, I mean, we've got lots of people in there, and Brentford are panicking.
That could be 4. That could be 4-0. I mean, I'm showing them in order, and that's a cracking chance. If you look where Iwobi's standing in that picture, it's him or the keeper. And like you say, it's a cracking save, but you can score them so easy if you put it each side of the keeper. He's hit it at the keeper.
This is very much what we're like at the moment. It seems to be that we create lots of chances in the first half, or key chances in the first half of a game, and we either score it and go on to get something, or we don't take our chances when we could have, and then we end up conceding 2 in the second half. So it was good in 2 respects, is that we created a lot of good chances. We did take one of them. We could have taken more, and then we've defended well in the second half.
Well, this is where I got scared, because that chance that you said maybe was just before that Iwobi chance, and it was. I've got it here. We had all those chances. We could be 2-3-0, but then they get this chance first half after we've not made it 2 or 3. Yeah. And I don't know what you was. I was panicking here because I thought to myself when we was having those chances, I'm thinking we've got 1 goal, but if you don't take these chances we're having, they're straight back in the game just with 1 chance. And they get this chance now, and you wouldn't expect Tony to miss this on with the form that he's got that we said on the pre-match. And it's a header, what he's good at. And you look at where he's at there, he's completely boshed it, like completely got it wrong. Drop in the comments what you think of this. Was you scared at this moment in time when Tony was in this position? I mean, it's 26 minutes in, so it could have been 1-1 here.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts on this?
It's a good. I mean, they've done. What we've done in the past is that they've created a chance to get the ball in from their right-hand side. As it's come in, Tony's he's shrewd, Tony. As we've said, he's a bit of an arsenal, isn't he? But what he's done with Keane, and Keane's been a bit naive about this, is that as the balls come in, he shoved himself into Keane just to create that space. He's then bounced off Keane and then launched himself forward to try and head the ball. I think, to be honest, if he hadn't have done that, if he hadn't have tried to create space by shoving Keane back, I think he would have got the ball anyway. So it's definitely it's his own fault, and we've been let off massive there.
I'll just comment here on that, saying I was just sat behind the goal. I saw. Sorry, just dropping that now. Something popped up on it. I saw it over him. I never thought he was getting it. Oh, so he was confident that he wasn't going to score that.
Yeah. Next one. Go for that next comment there, actually, by the Blues. He gave Keane a nudge.
There you go.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. He didn't even need to do that. He could have just gone forward anyway. Would have been more comfortable. Would have had more time to actually head the ball because he was away from Keane. Keane couldn't turn quick enough, I don't think.
We could give Keane a bit of credit for saying he was there right next to him and didn't give it him completely free.
Keane obviously played well. I think the back line.
This is where people are going to get a little bit angry. I'm going to drop this. I'm interested on what I spoke to you on a lot of the reaction poll. We leave it for the channel to put it fresh, and people in the comments as well. Keep commenting, and we'll try and get it on. So if I can't get them all on, because we're trying to get stuff on as well as getting your comments on. But so we've got a goal kick here. This is what happens. We've done well, to be fair, with these goal kicks. Long balls up. It seems to be our plan, and it's definitely working. People say it's basic, but it causes so much trouble. And
Pickford's we overload the far side of their area, don't we? I mean, it's this exact same position that we got our second goal against Forest when it's been nodded back in, I think, by Coleman. It's then Keane who's flicked it on, and Decore's then got that goal against Forest. So Pickford's more than capable of putting in a decent ball right onto that spot as well, right into that area. And it's unfortunate what happens next, to be fair.
No, I've seen the comments here. The question is, so you're testing my skills here, but I like to impress and I like to make this channel good for you. So this is what happens 43 minutes in, just before half time. Pickford plays the ball. Tarky header, like you just said, Paul. Back across goal. And Gray scores. And I've just seen the comment now. The question is, have you got the stuff? What? Tell me. Please tell me that you agree with Paul. This was a goal. It should have stood.
Hang on. The first time I saw it, I thought there's no reason why that shouldn't be a goal. I've then seen it a second time from another angle and thought, oh, that's close to his arm. But then as I've watched it a couple more times, like the referee would have had the opportunity to do,
is having a close.
It's at his chest. It's at his chest. As far as I can see, it's at his chest. And if it's not, it's his chest and it's his upper arm. Is it a shoulder?
It's his chest, and if it's not his chest, it's the shoulder.
It looks
the shoulder part where you're allowed to score with.
It looks as though it's the badge kind of area, really.
Come on, people in the comments, you have got to be impressed. I've got the footage here. I am the VAR box, and I tell you something. This is it. He said in the comments, and I can't jump it on because I'm showing the clip now, but he said, "Oh, the question is, have you got the footage to show?" Yes, I have. Look, how fast that comes at him. He's managed to make that not hit his arm, and if it has hit his arm, it's hit his shoulder above the sleeve, on like the shoulder part, not the arm. That is not the arm, and I'm sorry, but that is a goal. That is a goal.
The reaction as well from the Brentford players. I'm going to go up on here to see afterwards.
They knew that's a goal. That was a goal. Even Damari said it hurt his chest because it hit his chest. He could not have done no more. And I'm telling you something, that has not done to do replace Lineker. Well, you know, I wouldn't take it because I feel sorry for him. But yeah, I'd get grief if I took that Lineker job. But yeah, I definitely think playing that.
There's actually, Dan, I've just got the 10-minute version of Match of the Day up here. You can see there's from the park end. Basically, the ball's right in the middle. He's got his arms up in the bounce. In reaction from Brentford, really just no one see people claiming it. They just look dejected because they just considered a second goal in the first half.
He celebrated everything. He knew that was a goal.
One Brentford player who was on the line put his hand up, but then everyone else presumed it was a goal. And after looking at it again and again and again, right,
I know I've played it 100 times there just to get a picture that it was definitely. I don't lie. I'm always honest. Like I say, I've been a referee before, and to me, I'm not biased. I don't want to kid myself and say it should have been when it. But honestly, I generally do think that was a goal. I really do think it was a goal. And you go into the first half 2-0 with a goal that should have stood.
Yeah, massive. It's massive,
and it's a lot more refreshing.
Again, after having a good start, going ahead, we are almost punished, even if subconsciously, God knows, by us having been ahead and not getting a second penalty against Forest, because we've already had one. And I know it's tongue in cheek as well, but we've not had that goal allowed because we already were 1-0 up. So we seem to be on the wrong end of quite a few decisions. As always,
if that happened on one of our defenders, they would not get a penalty. It's got to be. There can't be one rule for one. Do you know what I mean? Like, I generally do believe if that happened, it's because it's such a big decision. Yeah. He's bailed out on that, but I just don't believe that. But I thought to myself, right, because we're on half time now. People in the comments, tell me what you're thinking at half time. I mean, I always do my normal thing because it seems to be that we start the game well and we have a cracking first half just lately, which is a good thing. You're not always guaranteed a good first half. And I said to myself at half time, like, we're 1-0 up, but we could have been 3-4-0. And we should have been. I mean, they only had that Tony chance was the only chance that I've just had to put up. Other than that, we were safe. Like, we had them completely under control first half, and we had very, very good chances. And you think to yourself, going in at 1-0, we didn't get going with what we should have. We should have got in with more. So you're a bit like, I hope we don't pay for that second half.
I was just watching there as well as that. It wasn't the referee who made that decision either, was it? About the grey disallowed goal. It wasn't him who went over and watched it. It was the people doing the VAR as well. So again, we're getting screwed over by people in the office. And
another apology. Get ready.
Well, yeah. And are we just collecting those like Tesco club points or something?
Well, it's just so frustrating when after the game you literally can ask everyone that you know, and no one says that it wasn't.
No,
a goal. Everyone says it should have been a goal.
I know it's not Evan as such, but teams who are in that bottom 7, 8, well, actually all the way to bloody 12th if we have a look at the table later. They seem to be the teams on the rough end of it. There was, I don't know if anyone's been watching the football today. Wolves had a blatant penalty. Mick Pope should have been sent off again, but Newcastle, who are now 5th, got away with it. So,
well, even Liverpool, I don't want to talk about them, but they went to, only time I've ever wanted Liverpool to win. They ended up letting Bournemouth win, but we'll talk about that towards the end. When we look at the table, the results kind of went, they were 50-50 on going away, but we'll get to that. So we're at half time.
Anyway,
we're at half time. We're coming out second half. I think I've got like 2 clips to put up. All my clips mainly are on first half because that first half was amazing. And second half, when we come out, I said to myself, I kind of didn't want half time. I was thinking, you don't want it to come. It's one of them where you want them to stay on the pitch and not think about stuff because you go in at half time at 1-0. They all know that they need to win this. They go in at half time and then they think about it and they get a bit nervous and then they start to think we're winning, so let's defend the win. You want them to come out like they did that first half and smash goals in, but they come out second half and you're worried whether they won't come out the same. And they didn't come out the same as the first half, did they?
No. I mean, if you're kind of looking at stats as well, I mean, we were already sort of from the first half, it was like 40-60 possession in their favour. Second half, they had 75% of possession. So obviously our game plan would have changed slightly, but we did let them pretty much have all of the ball, and they did create a couple of chances. There are plenty of goal attempts. A lot of them were sort of maybe long shots, I think, or things like that.
Well, I've got one here, and this is like we've come out second half, and we just could not get hold of the ball. Like we generally, it was just like hoof the ball, and when we turned the ball over or got the ball back, we gave it straight back to them. And I've got it here, second half. I'm not sure what time this was, but it was second half, and drop it on the screen now.
Yeah.
It's 47 minutes in, so we've come out 2 minutes into the second half, and Pickford, but he saves it with his slung. I forgot to put that. I said it to be funny, but yeah, I thought Coleman blocked this at first, but it wasn't. It was Pickford, wasn't it, in between his legs?
He'll get anything in the way. Will Jordan?
Oh, if he saves it with his toes, I don't mind. He did the job, but I was just laughing my head off because after he saved it, I knew he saved it because he's holding in between his legs and he's laughing a little bit because he's got completely knocked in between his legs. But good save if you look at that where Pickford is there. It's going in. It's a good header.
Well, we were fortunate. I mean, obviously, great save and everything else. We got sucked in, like they got sucked in for our goal early doors. We were sucked in on our left-hand side in their build-up. So on our left, we had about 5 players around there, 3 players who created something to get the cross in, which meant that actually there were 2 people behind Coleman when the cross comes in. Iwobi's not back quick enough, if you like, and he's not covering either Henry or the number 24 that you can see there. So we were sucked in. They created a chance, and thank God we've got Jordan. They're
massively on top here. I mean, I was looking at Tarkowski in the game, and it's chucking it down, and Tarkowski loves it when it's chucking it down. He's old school defender. And we are defending hardcore, but like you say, a bit out of position here, but still good defending as a team. Other than Iwobi being switched off, they're all there, they're defending, they're making it hard for them, and they're just doing the job. And that was a cracking save from Pickford, but we are struggling. They're coming at us big time here, and I'm worried here because I'm thinking it's all them. I still think we can defend well here, Paul. I'm still thinking we've got this. We can keep the 1-0. But I'm worried because it's coming at us too much, wasn't it? They was all over us. It just kept coming back all the time. We were so scared.
Yeah.
And we just couldn't get it up. And it was just, they turn over. Sean Dyche said in his interview, was just giving them the ball back too easy. And we wasn't keeping the ball.
I mean, I think they'll be disappointed that they didn't create clear-cut chances, to be fair. I mean, they had 2 shots on target out of 9 in the second half. So we've let them have the ball. We've limited them to 2 decent chances. I mean, I know match today wasn't very much last night, but
here's the other chance that they had. They had 2 chances second half, 2 big chances.
Well, actually, this one I think is not one that I can remember. So go on, tell me about that one.
Well, this one's I've just dropped the comment. I've got balls of steel on there for Pickford. I can't see what I've written there, but I've tried to write it so I remember it. But yeah,
no, it's off the line, isn't it?
Yeah, Dwight McNeil off the line.
Yeah.
This Dwight McNeil, by the way, we'll talk briefly after what we thought of the players now. I'm just going through the game in stages. And this is, like I say, they've had 2 chances. This is the last big chance they've had, and we're defending for our lives. Can't keep the ball. And this is the last clip that I've got on the game. What a clearance by McNeil, who's had an absolute fantastic game. I mean, it's all right scoring the goal, but to clear it off the line like that when it matters to keep the lead was massive. I'm bricking it here. And I just said seen someone in the comments saying them last 15 minutes, they was as well. And I put in the stream, I literally aged so much during this game because you just wanted it to end, but it felt like it was years, not 45 minutes, didn't it? It was dragging, but we was defending really well.
We were, and that doesn't, I mean, it's not an accident, they've worked hard. I mean, you can tell that when we were set up to defend set pieces, McNeil's on a post. it looks like Mopé in the last couple of minutes is on another post as well. So we're set up well to defend set pieces as well as score from them.
This is an interesting comment now. I completely agree with you. I know the fans wanted us to control the ball and kill the game off, but we don't have the technical abilities to do that. And Davis did come on, didn't he? I'm not saying Davis was bad, by the way. I said didn't want to see him. I was hoping, I did say to someone at halftime, I'd rather see James Garner come on than Davis. But Davis, come on, I'm not saying he was amazing, but he didn't make no mistakes, and he battled when he come on, because obviously Onana got the black eye, didn't he?
I mean,
big black eye.
He did look like one of Rocky's opponents,
yeah.
to be honest, Onana. So, he did well staying on as long as he did. I thought they were going to cut him and then let him come back on for the last 5 minutes. But
I was thinking that.
Davis just did what he had to do. And the Blues is right. If we were going to, we would not be 1-0 up and keep possession of the ball in the last few minutes. We would do what we've been doing every game so far that Deitch has been with us. We would get the ball and we would launch it down the channel. We wouldn't do 5-yard passing in our own defensive third if we don't have to, particularly if we're defending a 1-0 lead, because it's percentages sometimes with some situations, isn't it? And if you've got the ball far away from your goal, you cannot concede.
Well, sometimes if you try and you can't win sometimes, because you have to look at both ends of the side, right? If we tried to have possession and we lost the ball like we have done previously, Garner Gay losing the ball or Awobi losing the ball, Decore losing the ball last game. So we try and have possession to get it up there and we lose the ball. We make it very easy for them to score. So instead, we've tried to sit back, stay compact, make it hard, choose to give them the ball, but make sure when they've got the ball, we're always in position and make it really hard for them to score. So I think that was the game plan. Although it's not good for us to watch and makes us age an extra 10 years, I do believe that was the game. I was like, whoa,
we're much better at defending than we are keeping possession.
For 5 minutes, I did as well.
Yeah. So, why not? You get it up into their half, even if you don't chase them down. You're not going to have 3 people pressuring their back line in the 93rd minute. You know what I mean? So you can get the ball up, reshape, get back into your shape and everything else, and win the ball back from that situation and hit them on the break.
It was a cracking defensive masterpiece, and I said this, that back four was solid. Coleman, I mean, I've showed the clips now. I can go into a bit of passion and just say what I thought, because Coleman and Godfrey played well this game. Godfrey was a lot better this game, and he was strong and won the headers. And the defenders as well, the centre-backs solid, even Keane. I was sorry to say even Keane, but he didn't do anything wrong, and he was good.
No.
We said put him on because he was good in the air, and he was good in the air, wasn't he, Paul? It was justified. I'd say he was better than Cody.
Yeah, he seems to. I mean, he's got areas of his game that we wish he could improve, to be fair, but he's certainly up for it and working hard. I think most of our attacks in the game came from the right-hand side, and I think that's because Godfrey's taking Mikolenko's place at the moment, because he's literally just a defender, isn't he, Godfrey? And a good one. But you're not going to see Godfrey overlapping Awobi, to then get across in. So predominantly.
Yeah, I just lost you a little bit there. We haven't lost you all the way through. He's got a new thing on the Wi-Fi to get it stronger, but lost you for 2 seconds there. I led you back in. Talking about Godfrey. Sorry. There we go. I did you back in. It just went blue for a second.
I was just saying that most of our attacks are coming from the right-hand side because Godfrey is a defender. He's not going to go down the line and put it from that and start for the first time and doing a good job.
got the connection wrong again. We'll get his connection right. We was going for right all the way through then. But yeah, drop it in the comments as well. Keep dropping them to each other, saying what you think. I just seen Matt say, "Oh, sorry, I was letting him get his connection right there." All right, lads, great stream. Joined a bit late. Don't worry, you can go back through it. I've dropped a lot of stuff. I'd like to think I put good stuff out there. Gone all through the game, showed positioning of players, and like I say, we're on to the second half now. I mean, we started the first half cracking, but that second half, you don't like to see us have to defend a lot, but we defended so well, and I was really, really impressed with the way we defended, and even the Ghana Gay thing as well. At the end, Ghana Gay running down when they've got the ball, just to make a tackle to keep us up that pitch when it's extra time. And I was like, oh, Ghana Gay, I love you. What a slide. What a run, and the energy that he had. Ghana Gay's back. I was thinking, Ghana Gay, this is amazing. This is the you that I freaking loved and ran into the sea naked for. He was absolutely amazing, Ghana Gay was. And they all was. McNeil closing down, and they worked as a team. Sean Dyche has got these fighting together, fighting for the shirt. And that's what we've been asking for years. And I'm not joking. Like, I'm not saying Moyes is good, but last time I can remember players fighting for the shirt was Tim Cahill's under Moyes, and those sort of players, the Baines, they haven't fight for the shirt since Moyes left. I've been disattached to these players, but I felt like what I seen that second half and that last game, I can start to like these players. If as a fan, Everton is in our hearts and we feel passionate and we want to connect with the players. We want the players to play with our passion, and we connect with them because they're playing with how we feel. And you see Coleman at the end when Coleman went mad and he was like, yes, and did the pump. That gets me going because that's how I feel. That's what I'm doing when I'm watching the game. And Coleman doing that at the end of the game, like pump, that's connecting with us because that's what you want to see. And Dyche has got these playing for the shirt. And they haven't done that. I don't know why. I don't know. But as long as they all put 110% in, I do not care what they've done in the past. This is a fresh start, and they are grafting better. They're working hard. Dyche is doing the right thing. And I listened to the Dyche interview before I come on this, and Dyche said, one step at a time. It's a good step, but there's loads more steps. And I love that he's like that. He doesn't let nobody get ahead of themselves. If someone say this is an example that don't happen, I've seen McNeil come out and say he's getting confident with Dyche, but this doesn't happen. But if a player started to think he's better than what he is, Dyche would put him back to the ground, keep him grounded, and keep him pushing and keep him working hard because egos can make you slack. They can make you slack, can't they?
Yeah, I think Dyche's philosophy is a simple one. And I think we'd agree that most of our players are pretty simple. So that's why it's suiting us. Because what's happened in the past is that managers have come in and tried to imply their philosophy on these players. But if the players are not capable of playing in that particular way, then your form isn't going to be very good. And their confidence isn't going to be very good. So Dyche is certainly currently a decent fit because all these players have got to do is do this very simple things. And the first one is, if you don't put a shift in, then you're not in the team.
But it's just his way of playing. At first, when I come in, I thought it'd be very defensive, and it's not that good. But one thing is, for Brentford are an example of that. Dyche's like formation and style it got Burnley Europa League. It can do well. And that wasn't even with the best players with Burnley, by the way. He got Europa League with players that wasn't good. Now, if you back Sean Dyche in the comment here, I just hope Dyche gets the respect he deserves. And I've said this now on my Twitter feed. I've said, if he keeps us up with what we've had, he's working with a hard hand here. Some of these players are not up to scratch, and he hasn't got a striker. And he hasn't got all the tools, and he's managed to pull out 3 wins, a draw already. If he does this and you start letting him sign his players, I think he's a manager that he's got more to the tank. I think you'd be surprised on what Dyche can do. I feel that if you talk about his football, but I can't believe how many attacking chances we're having. Like I say, we've just put the clips up earlier on. We've had 4 or 5 clear chances first off.
Yeah.
So he gets us attacking. He gets us solid in defence. And it's just a style of football that I feel that could be really good for us.
Yeah, I don't think Sean ever goes into the game thinking, not planning for us to win 2, 3, 4-0. You know, I remember Burnley getting those higher positions because they were consistently 1-0 winners. You know, and then with the odd game where it went really well for them, but generally clean sheets the first thing, and that seems to be our endeavour, is the first half to create the chances but keep the clean sheet. If you keep clean sheet, you can't lose, can you? So
unless something happens where we get new owners and then something changes, which I don't think will happen, where we're allowed to spend 100 million on a player, 100 million on a player, 100 million on a player.
No.
We can't have this luxury manager like that wants everything he wants. I mean, Conte, for example, they want everything, these big managers. They want everything to get what they want, and they have to have it perfect. We're not going to do that. So I like Sean Dyche, a manager who doesn't need everything, that's going to deal with what he's got and graft. And I do believe we could have a good future with him. I really do.
I think what he's good at is he's good at just tweaking a few things, isn't he? You know, he basically wants Coleman to get the ball, curl it down the line, and for us to pick off their defensive mistakes. I know, yeah. And then like with McNeil, you know, McNeil is good at crossing the ball. So all he said to McNeil is get it on your left foot, cross it in. If you can't cross it, give it back to whoever's playing left back, get it back off them, and then cross it in. And it's just those little changes, to be fair, to all of them.
I looked at something earlier on, and McNeil said when he tweeted something saying that Dyche looks at you as a person, looks at your personality, and he does do that. I've seen his press stuff when he was out of managing. Dyche, he goes into your lifestyle, your personality, and everything. And our players are lacking confidence, and I think this is fantastic. Dyche even looked at Calvert-Lewin's mattress to see if that's the reason he was getting injured. That's how good he is. Honestly, he's a manager that just goes to the root. And our players have got, Dyche has said this, these are good players, but he knows mentally that's where it's going wrong. And we know that as well, watching this Everton team for a long time, that mentally is where they struggle. Now, Dyche is coming in and finding out why they're struggling in that reason. He won't improve it all straight away, but he's definitely getting them all in a better position in the head where they are fighting for us. And
I mean, doesn't he look as though he could give you a good hug?
Yeah. He's soft. Do you know what? He doesn't look soft, but I bet he's nicer than what he looks. He looks like someone that eats bricks and nails.
Yeah.
But, but I honestly think he'll help you. I think he's a good person to talk to. I think he's straight to the point, but when you talk to him, you think, oh, yeah, you're right. And he makes you feel better. And he's a really good manager in that way, one-to-one with the players. And you can see that already. No players are moaning about him. They're all performing better underneath him. And I like him. Some people are saying I'm getting overexcited, but I've not had a manager I like for a long time. So I think I've got the right to like him with what he's done. He's coming in, done more than what Lampard did in just the 7 games.
Every manager's fallible, and we've found out that with many managers. So, like I say, because Dyche's philosophy is simple, these players can handle it. So there will be times when people get
frustrated with him, but
or whatever, because maybe some people are thinking that we're not as high as we should be, or not doing this or that or the other. But the basics, got to start with the basics. And basics is keep a clean sheet. If you keep clean sheet, you don't lose, and you get points from it. So
we have a tough team now. We are happy to press high and get stuck in. That's what we want. We haven't seen it for ages. We've just seen players with egos that are just turning up turning up when they choose. Not that's why we haven't been consistent. They haven't always had a manager that said, right, they don't dare us to slack now. They're not going to get away with slacking now. And we often have games where 3 players would play well, but the rest wouldn't. And you can never build consistency with that. Where Dyche is like an army man, isn't he? He's like, all of you, every game. And I love it when Dyche says about a friendly is just as important as
Yeah,
we said it last time. A friendly is just as important as a season thing, because that friendly can get you ready
really,
for the rest of the season. That sums him up.
Yeah, that really resonated with me. I could just imagine him being like competitive Dav from the Fast Show years ago, where if he's got kids, he will beat them at anything, you know, because it's just every game that he plays, he's got to win and he wants to do well and 100% passion and everything else.
Well, I don't
needs to be in the players. Needs to be in the players. And I mean, you would if we'd gone back and said the Corey, for example, would have been putting in this many kilometers during a game, we would have said no chance, because a while back he wasn't really doing anything. That's even if he was on the pitch at all.
Oh, Dan, sorry, I just read that guy. I tried to get through the comment section. Oh, Dan's big and need to. Well, I got so much stick for riding a unicorn. I can't believe the stick that I got. It is someone said to me, yeah, it is. Yeah, but it is a bit. You are a bit of a no. It is a bit stupid riding a unicorn. I know it's stupid. That's why I did it, to make you lot laugh and have a laugh. And some people are so serious. Yeah, but you are really stupid riding a unicorn. Oh my days! If you are that boring and you can't even have a bloody laugh, I worry about some of these people. They act like I ride a unicorn around frigging every day, and it's it's what I do for transport.
There he is again. He is again, riding his unicorn.
Yeah, so I've got on that unicorn to make people laugh. And I'll tell you something. I honestly thought I was going to have to go to court with how serious some people took it. It was like, this guy's a weirdo on a unicorn. I'm doing it to have a laugh and make you laugh. When I go on my Twitter, if people did videos like I did to make me have a laugh, I go on and think, absolute legend. That's what I do. But when I do the video, some people say, this guy's weird. This isn't an Everton fan. He's not one of our. Oh my God, get a grip. Have a laugh. That's what we want. We're put on this planet to have a laugh.
As Everton fans, mate, if we didn't laugh, we would be crying.
Exactly. So. We want entertainment. We want to have a laugh, especially times like this where we need boosting back up. And I've even got so much stick. That's why I like this channel. You lot in the comments as well. Like and subscribe if you're new as well. It will be good. I've seen you all chatting, and I love to see you chatting. It makes me so happy. We're going to be a good little group here, and we'll build it.
I'm liking this table, Dan. Does that mean that we're in Europe now?
Well, this is the true table. Don't worry about what the table is, what I'm going to give you in a minute, the actual table. Look at this table. We've just been speaking about Sean Dyche, and someone sent me this. Everything Everton, actually. I'm going to give him the brownie points because I've done a lot of stuff to make this a lot on the screen. But Everything Everton, he's the legend. He sent me this and says, put it on your channel. And I goes, oh, mate, I'll put it on. Because it is something that we should put on, because we just spoke about Dyche, how good he is. And this is why you can't underestimate how good he is, because this would be the league table on what Dyche has done when he's come in the last 7 games. And we are playing well, ain't we?
Yeah, I mean, you can see the improvements. Yeah. I mean, we didn't have Decore, Onana, Iwobi, McNeil all in the area, did we? When he first came. Certainly in the games before that, they would be nowhere near the area. It'd just be whoever it was playing up front on their own who would be isolated. But now he's got them fighting, but also getting forward and wanting to try and get on the score sheet, you know.
Well, this is like, you've got to remember, this is not like Dyche has been ages and got these results. Dyche has come in. He's put a quick bleep test in. He's had to work with these really quick, put loads on them. And straight away, you look at the results he's got. Not been here long. That's cracking, that is. And I generally, some people are deluded. You've got to look at where we're at and appreciate improvement. Some people say, well, it's still not good enough. If you generally think we're going to play those 7 games and win all 7, you're in cuckoo land, honestly. You really are.
Well,
I mean,
other sides, I mean, there's plenty of teams at the moment who are in the top 6, 7, who are normally in the top 4, complaining about how bad their team is. So it's all in whatever perspective you're coming from. But there'll be fans in every fan base who are saying that their team is not doing something. Look at that.
So we are just at a bit of a clip. It's on the connection thing again. I will bring you back in. We're near the end now, anyway. We're hitting the hour point. Try and keep it at an hour. I'll bring Paul back in. It was just a connection thing again. Like I said, that league table I think is good. I generally think 3. I love my blue family. I like that comment. I do like this. I think if we can add a few more as well in the comments. I like you've all been chatting. And we've all been in this together, and that's what I want. It's going to be a good little Everton fan get-together. It's like a pub. We're all chatting. It's good. I like it. All positive as well. Some good comments. Yeah, generally that table, what is it? 3 wins, draw, and 3 losses. It's not bad. It's good. It is good. I mean, it's the situation isn't good, but what Dyche has come in and done is good, and I'm happy with what Dyche has come in and done. Now I'm going to drop the lid. I'm buzzing. I am. I can't believe we won that game, Paul. I didn't say on the pre-match, but I was so scared. Well, I was so scared.
I mean, they hadn't lost since October 23rd. You know what I mean? They've won 6, drawn 6. You know, they were certainly. If you looked at both teams on paper before the game, there was no chance we were actually going to get a win.
No, it was a hard game, and everyone says must win. But how have you got the right to say must win when they're unbeaten in 12? They're smashing it. They've got better attackers than us. You haven't got no right to say must win. We've got to earn that win, and we did. We went out and earned that win. And Dyche, what Dyche is doing, by the way, is pulling off a miracle, because I don't like to say it because I always big my Everton team up more than what I should. But some teams we're playing and we've got results against have got a better 11 than us. But Dyche's tactics, he hasn't even got a striker. He's playing great up front. Dyche's tactics is doing it. No other manager could come in and do what Dyche is doing. He is pulling the miracle off, honestly, and that's why I do like. That's why I've got the big buzz on him. To be fair, some people think, "Oh, you got to win this, you got to win that." No, what he's doing is really good, and I'm behind him 100%. I've got the league table now, or the last thing I'll drop now. I think every game's been played. Tell me if it hasn't. Now, I got this league table late, so it should be the league table.
It's tight.
I don't like dropping this because we.
I was going to say Southampton and West Ham with draws today. Yeah, so that's up to date.
Yeah, it's up to date. Do you know what? This is why I say that game was massive, and appreciate that we did win that game and keep celebrating that we won that game, because look how close that is. If we didn't pick up 3 points, imagine the shit we'd be in. Honestly, like picking up those points has kept us in the game. It really has kept us in the game. Now, you've got to remember we've got the game in hand, but at least we're in a decent position when they've played that game in hand now, where we might be back on the line of the bottom 3. But if we get another good result next game, because some people have said, and this is how I spoke to someone, you know how positive I am. I spoke to someone and they said, I said to them, always break things down. They said, we need to win 5 games. How are we going to get 5 games before this Brentford game? I said to them, break it down. So we've won 1 game now. Think in your head, if we manage to pull the miracle off and beat Chelsea, we only need to win 3 or 4 games and we can stay up. And that 3 is not a big thing to achieve. Then you need to break it up, don't you, Paul? And then you get closer to it. And we could go on a run now. I mean, Chelsea, by the way, I think are an incredible team. I'm not underestimating this. It's a hard game, isn't it?
It is. Evening kickoff, Saturday 5:30. But Chelsea are inconsistent. And I think they've still got Europe thinking about at the moment. So because they're inconsistent, you never know. I mean, we went there. I hate to say his name, but when Benitez was in charge, and
you just made me sick on the channel.
And we were literally playing our under-21 squad, it seemed, and we ended up getting a draw. That's Branthwaite scored header. You know, we had one of the young lads playing up front, I think, on his own, and we managed to get a draw out of that. We've not got a great record at Chelsea, but there's nothing to say that we can't get something out of that game. I mean, the next week or so could go a little bit pear-shaped.
I didn't know this, but some of these in the comments are on it a lot more than me, and that's why I love it. He's just
Yeah,
said everything. Everton's just said they all play their game in hand this week, don't they?
Yeah, well, they've got Southampton are playing Brentford, actually. That's on the 15th. Where are we today? The 12th. So Wednesday night is that. So Southampton, Brentford. Forest have got Newcastle on Friday night. The fixtures next week could. I mean, you don't know what happens, to be honest, but Bournemouth are away at Villa, Leicester are away at Brentford, Southampton on to Spurs, Leeds are away to Wolves, and then we've got Chelsea in the evening. Are Palace in this? Do you think Palace are still in this fight? I mean, they've got the same points as Wolves.
Well, I'll get it back up. I've put. I mean, we're ending it on this, but I've put. I've gone to who I think's in it on this, so I'll put it back up. It should be there now. I've gone to Crystal Palace. I think if they're on 27, the same as Wolves, I think they're in. They're getting dragged into this, and I think
it's 5 points from bottom to top of that bottom half, isn't it? And if you think back last season, I think we were talking about it in another show, was that we were actually 5 points adrift with one game in hand, trying to catch Leeds and Burnley, and there's 5 points here between everyone in the bottom half. So I suppose it would be unlikely. I think Palace are actually about 7-1 to get relegated, as opposed to us. I think we were something 15-8, or they're all really close, really close.
They're not playing that well either, Palace. They're not.
Well, no, they've actually not had a shot. They've not had a shot on target. I think
no.
Losers mentioned it. Not had a shot on target for 3 games in a row. So,
well, I listened to Zaha in the interview, and he sounded like he's in a relegation battle. We're worried, and we think no one's worried around us. But if you speak to some of those fans that support Crystal Palace, Wolves, Nottingham Forest, they massively think they can go down, and they think they're in the same boat as us. So we need to remember that. That's where we've got to be more positive. We're dragging these teams into it with us.
Yeah,
and they're not playing that well. Palace, I don't think, are playing well. Wolves ain't there. I don't think they're playing that well. Wolves have got some good players, but
we're all inconsistent, Army. That's the problem. That's when we've said 2 wins in a row can really throw you up. I mean, Wolves were 17th, and then they won 2 consecutive games. Then they seemed as though, they're not going to be, involved in it anymore. And then it's just because some other sides have got the odd really good result, which has just totally squeezed it all together.
Well, you just said a good word there, Paul, because you've just said, and this is where I'm going to put as much positivity into you in comments and Paul as I can. And you've just said consistency. Right now, that Leeds team, they did win, but then they drew, then they lost. They ain't consistent at the minute. But Bournemouth, I feel like they're starting to get better. They are a team that have got back into it from the bottom. They've signed the players, and it's showing into it. Southampton, inconsistent. West Ham, massively inconsistent. I mean, I keep thinking West Ham have got some cracking players, but then I watch them perform, and they really ain't playing that well. Leicester ain't playing that well. I've watched them as well. Got good players, but not playing well. Well, you look at us, teams above us as well, they're not playing well. You look at us. This is the positive. We should have beat Nottingham Forest. We should have. It was just one stupid mistake, and we paid for it, and we was the better team. That mistake, they could have missed it, and we could have won. So I feel we played well that game. We've played well this last game, really well. I was happy with last game. Yeah. Played well next game. We've got a bit of consistency like you're asking for, haven't we, Paul?
Yeah. And I think what's going to happen over the next 2 or 3 weeks is that while we've got some difficult fixtures in terms of Chelsea, Spurs, and United, the other sides are actually playing each other. Do you know what I mean? There's going to be 1 week. There's going to be one weekend where it's 1st of April. Actually, you've got Palace playing Leicester, Forest playing Wolves, West Ham playing Southampton. That's the weekend where we play Spurs on a Monday night. So while we're going through these tougher fixtures, the other teams around us are playing each other, which means that some of them are obviously not going to pick up points to get away from us. There's going to be one of those who's going to have 0, or they're both going to get 1, which at this point isn't enough for them,
Well, there is a lot of positives. And
definitely.
The good thing is, someone's just said, there's 2 things I want to point out because it was on my mind. First of all, you mentioned Branthwaite scoring. Branthwaite scored again today.
Yeah, saw that.
He scored again today. He's a scoring machine. So that's massively positive for us. He's either going to be worth loads. I want him to play for us, so I want him in the team. He's a good Daesh player. So that's a massive positive. Another thing that I was going to say is that don't worry about Spurs, because I've DM'd Richarlison. He's going to score 2-3 own goals. He's not happy with Conte, is he? So
he's not
don't
happy,
worry.
so you never know.
He wanted us to stay up that bad. So Richarlison's not going to. He's going to do us a favour when we play Spurs. He's going to help us out. He don't want us to go down. Richarlison don't, so he'll help us out. So don't worry about Spurs. I've just seen the comment. It's far up, so I can't get it up, but I'll tell you. Casemiro, he's got a red card, so we won't be playing for Man United when we play them.
Yeah.
Which is a massive positive, because he was the difference between them beating us and us. He turned it over. He turned it up, didn't he?
Anything can happen at Man United. I mean, bloody hell, was it 2 seasons ago we should have won 2-1 and stuff like that? We get jibbed by VAR again. We've had a few good games down there. So again, Chelsea wouldn't surprise me if we managed to get something out of it. Spurs at home, anything could happen. And same for United. So it's very Everton to get decent points against top sides.
We did it last season, didn't we? We picked up points. We didn't think. We beat Chelsea. We beat Man U. We beat Leicester. The thing is with us, sometimes we play these teams at the bottom and they want to fight as well. So our strength doesn't maximise. Where some of these teams, with some of these footballers that don't like to go in, like Chelsea or Thingy, us going in and playing hard might go against them, and they might not like it. So we might be more suited against these bigger teams in the next 3 fixtures.
That's what happened with Brentford. We said it on Friday. Brentford have only got 33 bookings before yesterday, whereas we're around 60. They're not an aggressive side. They're a passing football inside. And
didn't like it, did they?
They didn't like it up them. Do you know what I mean?
No.
It's a bit of Dad's army spirit that we've kind of got. So we'll need that against top sides, because if we just sit back and lay down like we did for an hour against Arsenal, then we'll get walked over. But if we actually show a little bit of grit, then we can get stuff from the next few games. Yeah,
we've definitely got that. I'm ready now. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to end it now. It's just been a cracking one, to be fair. Yeah. We've got all the stuff up for you. I hope you've enjoyed it, everyone. People in the comments, thanks for commenting as always. You've got involved. I tried to keep you involved. Don't want to ever leave you out, because I think you're as important as me and Paul that are live. And like I say, you're welcome to come on sometime as a guest. I'm happy with that. I'm happy. It's only one step. Like Sean Dyche said, I love his words, more steps, but it's a step in the right direction. It gets us moving. And it wasn't an in the bag game, so it's massively positive. Let's do it. Come on, let's stay up. And whatever happens, as long as we keep fighting and we've done our best, and that's all you can ask for, isn't it? And I generally feel we'll have a good chance if we do keep fighting. I can't wait for our pre-match now, next game.
It'll be good. We've got a few people who are coming back slowly from injury. We've got some people doing light training. Garner, as in James Garner, is more and more involved.
Signal went there. Doing so well. He's got the routers, get the Wi-Fi better, but we are working on it anyway. It's all progression. Got to get it right for it to be a good listen. But yeah, we are getting it right, and we're getting really good feedback, some nice messages as well, which makes us more positive about doing this. And we just want to get a nice little group of Evertonians all together. This has been good, and the good thing that I like about this, and I said to Paul, speaking to you lot in the comments, speaking to Paul, when I come off this stream, I've come off with a smile on my face and I feel good. I generally come off feeling good. Don't feel stressed. It's like a little, what's it called? positive group that just makes you feel better. Even if Everton, like, we won, so it's good today. But even if we lost, I feel we'd all boost each other back up and be ready for the challenge. And I love it. I love this. It's a good little thing I've got going. And I like it. Paul, you said you like it in the comments. Getting good feedback. Right, everybody, have a good one, and bring on the next game. It's a hard game, but bring it on. We'll talk about it. We'll discuss it. We'll get ready. I'm sure Sean Dyche watches these, so he'll look into it as well. So we'll make him even more ready. Imagine if he did. I don't know what happened, but imagine. Yeah, and everyone have a really good night. Have a good Sunday. I've been going around with Dwight McNeil's song with my windows down, as you've probably seen me drop a video on it. Up the Toffees. Stick together. There you go. Comment up the top. I love it. Up the Toffees. Good vibes. Good comments here. Look. It's about putting something out there that people like, and that's good comments in it, Paul. We love it. Makes us more confident as well.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to drop the banner. Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good week, everyone.
I can't believe we won. 12 games unbeaten. Of course Everton will beat them if they're 12 games unbeaten. Of course we can do it. These positive shows do.